What happens when dangerous kids face the reality of life sentences? In part 2 of our series, we explore the intense and often chilling reactions of young offenders as they confront their fate. From tearful breakdowns to cold defiance, discover how these dangerous individuals respond to their life sentences. Today we're diving into a chilling topic, the top 10 dangerous kids reacting to their life sentences in prison. These young offenders, who committed serious crimes, had to face the harsh reality of their sentences, and their reactions are nothing short of intense. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with our latest videos. 8. Cameron Herron, a heartbreaking tragedy. Let's talk about Cameron Herron, a young man whose life took a dramatic turn at just 18 years old. In 2018, Herron was driving his Ford Mustang down Bayshore Boulevard when he collided with a mother and her baby, causing their deaths. This tragic accident shook the community to its core. Herron was found guilty and sentenced to 24 years in prison. The sentence was a result of a serious legal process, with 9 years assigned for one charge and 15 years for another, running one after the other. But Herron wasn't alone in this incident. Another man, John Barano, was also involved. Barano was accused of racing with Herron and was given a 6-year prison sentence. The accident left both families devastated and the whole community mourning the loss of 2 lives. Judge Warren, who oversaw the case, pointed out that no sentence can repair that damage or bring back the lives lost, but we hope this outcome delivers some comfort and closure. This case was not just about the legal outcomes, but also about the deep emotional impact it had on everyone involved. Herron's 24-year sentence reflects the seriousness of his actions and the tragic consequences that followed. 7. Samantha Grigg, a life shattered. Imagine this, Samantha Grigg, just 18 years old, had a future that suddenly changed. Instead of getting ready to graduate from high school, she found herself facing a prison sentence. Grigg was given a sentence of 6 to 15 years behind bars because of her involvement in the tragic death of Dustin Frolka, a student from Michigan State University. She had pleaded guilty to charges of manslaughter and unarmed robbery. In court, Grigg was visibly upset. She struggled to hold back her tears as she expressed how deeply sorry she was for what happened. She took responsibility for her actions and showed genuine regret for the pain she caused. Grigg's apology was heartfelt as she thought about how her actions affected Frolka's family and how her life had taken such a dramatic turn from a high school graduation to a prison cell. 6. Keandria Cook, an emotional courtroom scene. Keandria Cook's case is memorable because of her mother's emotional reaction. Cook, sentenced to 20 years for carjacking and battery, caused a scene in the courtroom when her mother started crying and howling after hearing the sentence. Judge Matthew Foxman had to stop the proceedings to restore order. This reaction showed how deeply such a long sentence impacts not just the offenders, but their families too. Cook's crime was seen as intentional and planned, which led to the severe punishment. 5. TJ Lane, a cold display of defiance. TJ Lane made headlines in 2013 for his chilling behavior during his trial. He was convicted for the 2012 shooting deaths of 3 students at Chardon High School in Ohio. At his sentencing, Lane wore a white t-shirt with "killer" written on it and even gave the courtroom the middle finger. His lack of remorse and the brutal nature of his crime led Judge David L. Fury to sentence him to life in prison without parole. The case got a lot of media attention because of Lane's shocking demeanor and the serious nature of his offenses. 4. Fernando Salgado, tears in court. Fernando Salgado, an 18-year-old student from California, made headlines in 2024 for his dramatic reaction in court. During his arraignment, he broke down in tears as he faced serious criminal charges related to incidents at his high school. Despite pleading not guilty, Salgado was hit with a hefty $300,000 bail. As the judge ordered him to stay in jail until he could post bail, Salgado's distress was evident. He cried out for help, clearly overwhelmed and desperate to go home. His emotional breakdown highlighted just how intense and frightening it can be to face serious charges and the uncertainty of being stuck in jail. The scene in court was a stark reminder of the personal struggles involved in such legal battles. 3. Damon Kemp, a chaotic courtroom scene. Damon Kemp, a man from Florida, made a dramatic appearance in court in 2024. Initially, he was arrested for a burglary charge, but things took a darker turn when he faced serious accusations for the double homicide of his roommates, Trey Ingram and Jordan Payton. During his court appearance, Kemp's behavior was both erratic and unsettling. He was in a wheelchair, but that didn't stop him from making a scene. He screamed loudly and continuously, shouting "God" at the top of his lungs. His grimaces and chaotic reactions made the courtroom scene intense and disturbing. The gravity of his charges, combined with his unusual behavior, made this case stand out and memorable. Kemp's erratic outbursts were a stark contrast to the seriousness of the accusations against him, highlighting how emotional and unpredictable court cases can be. This situation not only drew attention due to the horrific nature of the crimes, but also because of Kemp's unsettling demeanor in court. 2. Conrad Schaffer, life sentences for a crime spree. In 2016, 18-year-old Conrad Schaffer faced the judge for a crime spree that tragically took 2 lives in Osceola County. At just 15 years old, Schaffer was involved in these crimes, including the fatal shooting of David Guerrero. During the court proceedings, Schaffer showed a lot of remorse. He apologized sincerely to the families of the victims, expressing deep regret for his actions. Despite his apologies, the judge decided to impose 2 consecutive life sentences on Schaffer. This decision reflected the severe nature of the crimes he committed and underscored how deeply they affected the victims' families. The judge's ruling aimed to deliver justice and acknowledge the profound impact of Schaffer's actions. Even though Schaffer's remorse was evident, the life sentences were a clear reminder of the seriousness of his offenses and the lasting pain caused to those who lost their loved ones. 1. Alyssa Bustamante, a quest for a new trial. Alyssa Bustamante, a Missouri woman, made headlines when her case changed dramatically after a Supreme Court ruling. In 2009, at just 15 years old, Bustamante was convicted for the tragic murder of her 9-year-old neighbor Elizabeth Olton. Initially, she pleaded guilty to charges including second-degree murder and armed criminal action. The court sentenced her to life in prison with the possibility of parole plus additional time for other charges. In 2012, Bustamante's case took another turn when the Supreme Court ruled that juveniles could not receive automatic life sentences without the chance of parole. This ruling led Bustamante to seek a new trial, hoping to overturn her conviction. However, her appeal was denied. The court concluded that her original attorneys had done their job correctly and that her plea deal was a strategic choice to avoid the risk of an even harsher sentence. Despite her efforts to change her situation, Bustamante's original sentence remained in place, highlighting the serious nature of her crimes and the complexities of juvenile justice. That wraps up our look at these intense and emotional reactions to life sentences. These cases highlight the complexities and profound consequences of serious crimes, especially when committed by young individuals. If you found this video insightful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more compelling content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.